Hi, I'm Ashley. Welcome to Rise Up Yoga and welcome to the Redwoods. Now, if you have a yoga block, I recommend grabbing that as you'll have the opportunity to use it today during practice. If you don't have a block, that's okay. If you have a book or if you have a blanket, go ahead and grab one of those. If you have none of these, that's totally okay because we'll do some modifications without any of them. And then once you're ready, go ahead and find your way to the mat and I'll meet you there in a comfortable seat. In today's practice, I invite you to step into a realm of self-discovery through card number 9, the Hermit. Now this card guides us to step away from the outside noise and turn within so we may discover our inner guide and our inner light. Now this requires stillness, aloneness, and a curiosity to get closer to our authentic selves. And when we give ourselves the space to turn within, we may start to discover all of the wisdom that our bodies hold so that we may return to the world more illuminated and aligned. So my intention for today is to create a space that you feel safe to explore different aspects of your being. I encourage you to get curious and really become observant of how you move, how you breathe, how you connect to your body and the space around you as we start to synergize breath and body, movement and stillness. So to get started today, find your way to a comfortable cross-legged seat. As you arrive, you can bring your hands to the tops of your knees. Relax your shoulders down your back. Find a soft, straight spine. Now start to notice if even arriving in this seated position, if you feel your hips are under your body, creating a slight hunch in your back or pronated shoulders forward. If you notice this, I invite you to grab your prop and place it under your hips. So as you do so, you might start to notice that your knees become lower than your hips, which naturally is going to help start to straighten your spine and create more space for you to breathe and a straighter, more confident posture. So yogi's choice, go ahead and play around with that. Even if you've never used a prop before, I think I'm just going to use mine today. So once you get into that position, you can go ahead and close down your eyes or keep a soft gaze in front of you. Once you've arrived, just start to notice what's going on in your body. Notice what you showed up with on the mat today. If there's anything you're ready to leave behind. If there's anything you're ready to move towards. You're welcome to start doing a body scan. Just notice how you feel in different areas of your body. Not trying to change anything, just noticing where you feel more tension, where you feel more softness. Start to notice your connection to your prop beneath you, if there is one, or the mat. Just starting to drop into our centers. Now bring one hand to heart, one hand to belly. And just notice your breathing. Notice if you breathe more into your chest or into your belly. See if your breaths are shallow or deep. Just coming into this pure meditative awareness of your being. Notice how it feels to sit in stillness, to sit in silence. If that brings up any discomfort for you or if it's peaceful. Again, there's no wrong way to be here. Just noticing. Now that we've come into this space, we'll start to connect with one another through a few deep breaths. So as we breathe in, we're going to send our breath to the belly and really expand through the torso. And on the exhales, we'll pull the belly in towards the spine. So you can exhale everything out to prepare. And inhale through the nose. Expand through the belly, find fullness in your torso. Once you get to the top of your breath, pause and retain the breath. And exhale through the nose. Belly into spine. Inhale through the belly. Pause at the top. Relax the shoulders, relax the muscles of your face. And exhale through the nose. Inhale. Pause. Hold. And exhale. Inhale. Hold. And exhale. A few more rounds like this. Deep breath in. Pause. Relax, soften. And exhale. Bringing breath into body. Inhale through the nose. Hold. Exhale through the nose. One more, a deep breath in, biggest breath you've taken all day. Pause. Notice any areas of your body you can release tension, where you can soften. And exhale through the nose. You can release your hands back down towards your knees. And start to return to a breath at your own rhythm. And just notice how you feel in your body. So again, today, becoming the observer of our experience. Seeing how different breaths, different movements affect your being. Integrating that breath practice into our bodies. And again, if you feel any discomfort by sitting here in stillness, you have any tendency to want to just get going into movement, into the practice, just notice that and see if you can soften more into the space right here and right now. Notice what it feels like to lean into this present moment. If you have any thoughts that pop up, feel free to just observe them and just let them flow through you as you use your breath to return you to the present moment. Just a few more moments here in stillness. You can start to flutter your eyes open, gently coming into this space around you. Just take off my robe here. If you have any blocks or bolster, blanket underneath you, you can go ahead and remove that and just place it gently to the side. Bring your hands to the tops of your knees. Start to bring your right ear down to your right shoulder. And on an exhale, start to take some neck circles one way. So drop your chin towards your chest. And then as you start to lean back on the inhale, exhale to round forward. Inhale to round back. Continue moving at your own pace. As you round back, notice what happens if you start to lift your chin up towards the sky and focus on opening through the front of the neck rather than just dropping your head all the way back. So finding length through the neck. Take your time with this movement. And then start to move the other direction. Start to notice all the intricacies of this movement and how it impacts your neck. Start to soften through the shoulders and through the muscles of the face to create space through the shoulders and the ears. And then you can return your neck to center. From here, start to roll your shoulders up to your ears and then back and down your spine. So we're really bringing our energy down into our bodies. Taking these movements one direction, waking up through the shoulders, and then moving them the opposite direction. Stay with your breath. And then come back to stillness. From here, reach your arms out in front of you. Point your fingers up towards the sky so your palms are faced away from you. Find stillness here. Start to notice this gentle opening through the front of your arms and your forearms. Exhale, start to point your fingers down towards the ground. And take a few movements here, back and forth. Again, at your own pace. Move with your breath. So you start to wake up through the wrists. And as you're ready, go ahead and bring your hands back to a neutral position and start to bring them into fists. So still out long in front of you, Relax your shoulders just a little bit more. And then start to take your wrists circles in one direction. Try to keep your elbows and your shoulders as still and as straight as you can. And then take the circles in the other direction. So we're on our wrists so often in yoga that sometimes we don't give our wrists the little warm-up or the attention that they deserve. So just go ahead and bring that into our being here. Okay, you can stop the wrist circles, still bring the hands out in front of you. So if you start to notice a fire within your arms rise, just stick with it. We're only here for a few more breaths. From here, from your fists, start to flick out your fingers in front of you. So waking up through our fingers as if these are little sprinklers. Just a few more times. Notice how that feels for you. And then relax your hands by your side. From here, you can bring your hands behind your head, clasp them together if you'd like, or if you'd like to leave some space within your hands, you can as well. On an inhale, hinge your hips forward, open your elbows out, and take your gaze slightly up. So starting to open up through the heart space, as well as our spine. Exhale to round. Bring your elbows in towards one another, chin down towards your chest. Inhale to open, gaze up. And exhale to round, elbows in. Inhale forward. And exhale to round. Be really gentle with your movement. Inhale forward. And exhale to round. Beautiful. You can come back to a neutral position. Release your right arm beside you, palm on the mat. Inhale to reach your left arm up and then slightly lean over to the right. So you can bend through your right elbow as we just start to open up through the lateral side of our bodies. Option to take your gaze up towards your left fingertips. Start to feel this opening all the way from your left pinky to your left hip. Notice how it feels when you breathe into your torso. And if with every breath you can soften a little bit more into the pose. So making small micro adjustments as we create the space in our body. Inhale to come back to center. Release your left arm by your side. Inhale to reach your right fingertips up and over. So just coming to the opposite side. Press firmly down into your left palm and try to find length in your right side body. Keep this softness through your shoulders, through the muscles of your face. Stay connected to your breath. Again, notice what it feels like for you to sit in the stillness. Notice if you have a tendency to want to move. Just see if you can remain here. All right, inhale to come back to center. Release your arms by your side. Inhale to reach both arms up overhead. Take your gaze up towards the sky, up towards your fingertips. Find length through your torso, find length through your arms, while grounding down through your legs, through your pelvis. So feeling this connection both to the earth, while also feeling this lengthening, this rising through the upper body. On an exhale, take a twist to the left. So right hand to the outside of the left knee, left fingertips behind you. Now your left palm can be on the ground, or you can tent your fingers and bring them behind you. Your gaze can be slightly over your left shoulder. Just notice if you start to look behind you, if you start to feel this opening through the right side of the neck. And notice if you're yanking yourself into this twist. And if so, just soften the pose a little bit. So just coming gently into this as we, again, bring this energy down through our torso, through our spine. Just a few more moments here. Come back to your breath. And inhale to come back to center. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead once more. Gaze up towards the sky. Exhale, take a twist to the right. So left hand to the outside of the right leg, right fingertips behind you. Start to take your gaze slightly back until you feel this opening through the left side of the neck. And we're really just allowing these moments of stillness and soft movements to really get in touch and in tune with our bodies. Giving us the opportunity to really pay attention to parts of ourselves that we may not have the time to in our lives, in our busy lives as we're moving about. Just a few more moments here. Deep breath in. And exhale. You can come back to center. From here, start to uncross your legs slightly. And then we're going to bring the left shin parallel to the front edge of your mat. So flex the left toes towards your knee. And then your right leg is going to stack on top of your left. So focus on bringing your right ankle to the top of your left knee. And then gently start to bring your right knee down towards that ankle. And so this is a deep hip opening stretch. So if you have a prop and you'd like to use it below your right knee, go ahead and do so. Or if you don't have a prop, you can always use your right arm and cradle that right knee into your arm. And so just find some gentle movements here until you find a space that you feel like you can sit comfortably in for a couple of minutes. And make sure both toes, both of your feet are flexed, as it will help to protect the knees. And if you feel any discomfort, That's okay. It's okay to lean into the discomfort. Just start to notice what feels painful and what feels uncomfortable. When we're in these spaces of discomfort, it allows us to grow and grow our poses. But when we push past our edge into pain, that's when injuries can happen. So start to notice how that feels in your body. If you feel like that knee is too far down and creating pain, then just come out of the pose just a little bit. So once you find this spot here, just start to come back to your breath. Another option, if you feel really grounded here and you feel like you could open your hip slightly more, you can slowly start to walk your fingertips in front of you, come down to your forearms, come down to a block in front of you. So yogi's choice. This is your practice, your body. So just come into the space of discovery of your own body and see what feels good for you. And today could be different than yesterday. So some days I'm down here, some days my knees is slightly raised. So just sinking into this space of self-acceptance wherever you're at today. Settle into your breath. With every inhale, sending breath to your hips. And with every exhale, releasing any tension. Finding some more softness within these spaces. And just a few more moments here. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale. Start to slowly come out of this pose. And gently come back into a cross-legged seat. So just coming back into this cross-legged seat to integrate that into our being. Just observe how you feel. Observe how your hips and how your body feels. And then we'll take it to the other side. So this time, right leg will come underneath. So right shin parallel to the top edge of the mat. Then left leg on top. Again, flex your toes towards your face. And it's okay if your shins aren't exactly parallel. That's totally fine. Again, just finding a position here that feels like a deep hip opening stretch for your body, but not overly so. And then just notice if this side of your body is different than the other. So this one, my hip is more tight on this side than the other, but I'm just gonna go with that and maybe place a block under this knee. That feels a little bit better for this side, and not trying to make it be like the other side, but just working with what your body is presenting you. And so again, come into this space of stillness. Come back to your breath. You can feel free to close down your eyes or just take a soft gaze forward. As you really tune in with your body, notice what's happening for you. If you start to notice by staying in these poses a little bit longer that you can remove props, if you're finding more length within an opening within your legs and hips, then go ahead and go with that. And just take that as a sign that your body is creating more space within, allowing you to drop into these poses even more. And when we move into these poses where we're holding them for minutes at a time, these yin style poses, we start to tap in more into our fascia, which is this connective tissue around our muscles and our bones. So these are these spaces that in typical vinyasa or hatha classes, we don't fully focus on. So allowing ourselves to really come into these spaces that we don't normally touch. You just notice if there's anything coming up for you emotionally as well as physically. We'll be here for a few more breaths. So again, putting on that lens of curiosity, noticing what you find in this stillness. Come back to your breath. Deep breath in through the nose. And exhale. Okay, from here, if you have any props, you can go ahead and move those out of the way. Start to gently uncross your legs and bring them out in front of you, just into this cross-legged seat once more, where we can integrate that into our being. You can bring your hands to the tops of your knees. Just notice. Okay, from here, start to uncross your legs and bring the soles of your feet towards one another. So soles of the feet to touch, knees out wide. And then start to bring your heels in close towards your hips as feels right for you. So normally in this pose, when our heels are closer towards our hips, we're going to open up more in our groins and our inner thighs. And when our heels are further away from our body, then we start to open up into the outer parts of the legs and in our glutes. Since we already worked that part of our body though, we'll bring the heels in towards the hips. Another option, if you have props and you'd like a little bit more support for your knees, you can go ahead and bring those under your knees. Inhale to find length through your torso. Reach up energetically through the crown of your head. On an exhale, hinge your hips forward slightly. So keep a flat back and soft shoulders as you hinge forward as much as feels good for you. So meeting your edge without going past it. Just until you start to find this opening through your groins. And we'll be here for a few minutes as well. So just find a spot that you can relax into. And sometimes I have a tendency to really want to round forward and get my head all the way to the ground. However, for the sake of this pose, try to keep your back flat, your spine nice and straight as you hinge forward. Doing so helps to create space through the fascia and the back line of your body. So again, feel free to close down your eyes or softly gaze in front of you. With every exhale, soften more into your body. You can start to imagine your breath as the wind and your body like the water being moved by the wind. So as you breathe in, you can soften your body more. So breath comes first, movement to follow. So not trying to find too much movement in this pose, but if you can soften more into it, then you can make those micro adjustments. Notice how it feels for you to sit in silence. Again, if it brings up any discomfort, use this as an opportunity to play with what that feels like for you. Notice what it feels like to sit with that rather than pull yourself out of it. We'll be here for a few more breaths. And as you're ready, you can slowly start to come out of this pose. Come back into a cross-legged seat as, once again, we find the space to integrate. Okay, from here, start to uncross your legs. I'm just going to turn to face the top of my mat. And bring your right leg out long in front of you. Start to move your right leg over slightly so it's faced towards the top right corner of your mat. The sole of your left foot will be in, touching the inside of your right leg. Turn your body to face your toes, so shoulders and hips are faced directly toward your toes. On an inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Find length through the torso, soften through the shoulders. And exhale, start to bring your arms down, reaching towards your right toes. Now, a couple of things here. Notice if your leg is fully straight, and notice how it feels if you start to bend through that right knee. So yogi's choice, you can keep your leg fully straight or you can keep your knee bent. And also try to keep a flat back as much as you can. We have a tendency here to want to round through the spine, but keeping a flat back, shoulders relaxed. And you can just relax your hands by your side, palms faced up. So not feeling the need to grab our foot and pull ourselves down, but really just softening into the space that our body naturally lands. And we'll be here for a minute or two. And again, there's no right or wrong way for our knee to be straightened or bent. It's just whatever works for your body. And the reason today for keeping our back flat is again to work into that back line of our body with that fascia. If you feel any slight tingling in your leg, that's okay, as long as it's not painful. You can always bend your knee to come out of the pose just a little bit. But again, in these poses of stillness, trying to find a position with our body where we're not really fidgeting around. We're just accepting where we are. And then we can start to notice, we can bring our breath into these spaces. Not much longer. And on your next exhale, you can start to sit up, come into a cross-legged seat, just briefly. Notice how you feel. Deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the nose. All right, now let's bring it to the other side. So left leg out long. Point your left heel towards the left corner of the mat. Again, right sole of your foot to the inside of the left leg. Square your hips and shoulders towards your toes. Inhale to reach your arms up to the sky. And exhale to hinge forward. Again, yogis, choice, playtime here really to find the positioning that feels right for you, either with knee bent or more straight. Keep your toes flexed towards your face. Relax the shoulders. If you feel like you're hinging so far forward into this that you're creating back pain, slightly come out of that hinge and you can just keep your torso upright. And again, I always find it interesting to notice how the different sides of my body are different in each pose. So this side, I'm more straight within my spine. My leg's a little bit tighter on this side. My back line's a little bit tighter on my left side. Could be different for you, but again, just an opportunity to notice and get in tune with your body. We'll be here for a minute or so. So just use this time to connect to that still space within. Use your breath, bring you back to this moment. And if you have any distracting thoughts, any thoughts that you feel are taking you out of this present moment, again, just try to be an observer of them. Don't try to control them. Just observe and then let them flow through you. Let them release from your body as we release this tension in the legs. A few more breaths. And on your next inhale, you can lift your torso up. Go ahead and cross your feet with one another. So coming back into this cross-legged seat. Observe your body, observe how you feel. From here, start to rock forward onto your knees and your hands, or you can slide your feet out to either side of you. We'll just meet in a tabletop position. So find your way there. Wrists directly under shoulders, knees directly under hips. Start to walk your hands out forward in front of you, and then bring your forehead to the mat or towards a prop in front of you. So coming into puppy pose. Hips are over the knees. Arms are reaching out long in front. So start to feel this opening through your shoulders, through your upper back, maybe even through the belly. Energetically, this pose is a very deep heart opening pose. So just notice how it feels to connect to that space, that heart space. We won't be here for long. As we start to pick up from stillness into movement, stay connected to your breath, breathing deep into the belly, finding expansion on the inhales, and on the exhales, pulling belly into spine, contracting through the body. On your next inhale, slowly start to press yourself up into a tabletop position. Remove any props if you have them there. Start to tuck your toes And on an exhale, lift your knees and your hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Now you can walk your hands out forward slightly. Bend through your knees deeply at first as we focus on lifting the hips up to the sky and pressing into your palms so your ears come besides your biceps. Now, once you have established this straight spine, from here you can start to straighten through your legs if that feels right for your body. Otherwise, you can keep bent knees. So press firmly down into your fingertips, into your knuckles to take any weight out of your wrists. Deep breaths. Inhale, start to take your gaze forward. Exhale, slowly start to step up, one small footstep at a time. As we take our time coming all the way to forward fold. Keep your feet about hip width distance, and then just let your head and your hands hang heavy towards the earth. Keep a gentle bend in your knees. Option to bring a block or another prop out in front of you to bring the earth a little bit closer towards you, so whatever you need in your body. And here again, just letting the weight of gravity do the work. Start to feel this length within your back. And on an inhale, slowly start to rise one vertebrae at a time. As we come all the way up, head will be the last to rise. Relax your arms by your side, palms faced forward in Tadasana. Relax your shoulders, relax the muscles of your face. Ground down into your feet, so feel that connection and press into your feet into the mat, into the earth beneath you, while simultaneously reaching through the crown of your head energetically. So finding this center within as we ground down will also rise up. On an inhale, reach your arms up overhead, gaze up towards your fingertips if you can. From here, grab your left wrist with your right hand. Start to bring your weight into your right foot. Bend through both of your knees and then slide your left toes behind your right. Inhale to reach your arms up and exhale to lean over to the right. So you can bend your knees as much as needed. Take your gaze up towards your fingertips. So again, starting to open up into the lateral side of our body, so through that left side. Deep breath in. And exhale. Inhale to come back to center, uncross your legs, and then reach your left hand to your right wrist. Start to bring your weight into your left foot. Slide your right toes behind. Inhale to reach up, find length through the body, and exhale as we take it to the left. So again, bend through your knees as much as needed. Gaze up to the sky. Relax your shoulders. Notice what happens if you press your right hip out slightly. Feel that length between your right hip and your right fingertips. Deep breath in. And exhale. Inhale to come back to center. And exhale, fold forward with a flat back as we come all the way down into forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, bring your hands to shins, to thighs, or to a prop in front of you. Keep a gentle bend through the knees. Pull the belly into the spine to help create a flat back. And exhale, plant your palms. Start to bend deeply through both of your knees as we bring hips towards the heels. As we come to sit all the way down onto our hips, we'll meet into cross-legged seat. Once you get here, go ahead and bring your hands to the tops of your knees, and we'll end today's practice with a Metta Meditation, which is a meditation for loving kindness. And we'll do this through mantra, so I'll say these mantras out loud, and then I invite you to repeat them to yourself, either internally or out loud. So feel free to close down your eyes or take a soft gaze. As we start to sit in this space, we'll get going. May I be at ease. May I have the power to accept and forgive. May I live and die in peace. May I know and feel love boundlessly. So now I'd like you to bring someone to the top of your mind that you have really positive interactions with, that you love deeply, or have a strong positive connection with. So you can bring them to the top of your mind through visualization or through feeling. And then we'll repeat these mantras to them. May you be at ease. May you have the power to accept and forgive. May you live and die in peace. May you know and feel love boundlessly. Now you can bring to the top of your mind someone you have a neutral experience with, someone you have neither strongly positive or negative feelings towards or interactions with. May you be at ease. May you have the power to accept and forgive. May you live and die in peace. May you know and feel love boundlessly. And now we'll bring to the top of our minds someone that we have difficulties with or have had difficulties with in the past. Maybe there are strong negative feelings towards them. So just bring them into this space with you. Notice if it feels uncomfortable, and just notice if you can sit with that. And then we'll repeat this to them. May you be at ease. May you have the power to accept and forgive. May you live and die in peace. May you know and feel love boundlessly. And then last one here, you can bring to your mind anyone you've ever had interactions with, positive, negative, neutral. Anybody that you've passed on the street. People known and unknown. Beings within your awareness and those that are not. And we'll repeat this for all beings everywhere. May we be at ease. May we have the power to accept and forgive. May we live and die in peace. May we know and feel love boundlessly. We'll just sit here for a minute or so, integrating that meditation. Notice how you feel. There's many versions of these loving kindness meditations that we can do. This particular one I credit to one of my yoga teachers that I'll link to in the comments. You can start to bring your hands to heart center. And I want to thank you all so much for showing up today and every other practice. From my heart to yours, peace, love, unity, respect, and namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me on our journey today through meditative awareness with the Hermit. Now, if you want to support the growth of this channel, remember to like this video and subscribe. And then we'll see you next time as we start to bring some movement into our practice with card number 10, the wheel.